Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I'm Brother Prater. Normally, during the weekday, I'll make a video, morning prayer. But whenever I'm off, like last week, I was on vacation, and this week, there was a lot of personal issues that were going on with my family. But everything's gonna be okay. You'll be back to normal on Monday. I want to come over here live. This is not pre-recorded. This is live. So just in case there may be some bumps, accidents, or incidents, y'all getting it live, fresh off the press. But I was going to hang tight for a few seconds to allow some to come in, kind of share with y'all a story. It'll be story time with Brother Prater. There was an incident that happened last night that I will share with y'all. Like something's coming on now. Excuse my good morning. How you doing, ma'am? Good morning. I'm just not waking up, so just in case my eyes may be a little tight, my bags may be a little big. I'm just not getting up. I had a long week and an eventful night. But everything is fine. Everything will be fine. Just thank God for the opportunity to be up and just be able to get my week started. So before I actually eat my breakfast, I just got done preparing my breakfast, and so I said I was gonna come up on here live and share with y'all the story, and then I go ahead and eat. Yes, man. Derek Dwayne Floyd, the real Dwayne. Yes, man. Know we praying for you, man. Love you. And Ashley, it's funny. You played a part in last night. I was all I could say was, my dad would always say, in life, things seldom go according to plans. And I was like, man, so I was thinking about you last night, and I was kind of disappointed that things didn't work out the way I desired, which I share with the story tonight. Well, actually now, about last night. But this is what I did. This is my weekend for me to have my son, and I wanted to, I've been desiring to take him to a place for him to go eat. And if you would say or consider this place to be upscale, I wanted to take him to an upscale restaurant for us to not just go, but I wanted to have him to dress up. I dressed up, just for us to just go, not just a traditional daddy and Dylan time, but for us to just be able to just sit down, eat, and just enjoy the atmosphere. And so we had planned on. I've been wanting to take him to this place called Old Warsaw. I always get the name jacked up, but Old Warsaw. I've been wanting to take him there, and so I was going to take him, and then I was reminded about the place because I only went there once, and this was back in maybe 2006. And so when I was told about that experience, that I was like, man, but you know what? I know it was another place, because it was two places I was trying to think of that I said I was going to try to take Dylan. Then I felt that they were nice, And so Old Warsaw was one place. And like I said, I've been planning on taking him there for a number of months. And so when I got the word about Old Warsaw, I said, well, what's the name of the other place? So I found out what the name of the other place was. The other place was a place called Texas de Brazil. And I was like, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take him. And so I took him to the ladder and dressed up. Like I said, I saw Dylan. I said, man, I said, you looking dapper, you know. He had on all black, and black shirt, black slacks, black shoes, you know, looking, like I said, looking like he was $1 million. And then I had on you know, black suit with my matching gold boots. A little side note for me, I love colors. I love colors. So most of the time, you know, somebody want to see my outfit, I got a lot of different colored boots. So that's me. Hey, you know, but so picked them up. We took them to, like I said, the ladder, Texas de Brazil, and went there. And like I said, I only went there once also, and, you know, didn't remember the price. I figured, can't be that expensive. Well, as we were headed there, and I think while we were driving, Dylan said, do you want to know the price before we get there, or, you know, something like that. So I made the comment. I said, well, don't worry about it. I said, if anything happened, then I'll let you go on, drive back to the house, and I'll just stay here, wash the dishes, you know. So like I said, you know, just kind of being comical. But my main thing was, you know, I really didn't care. I just wanted to not only take him to a, you know, upscale place, but most importantly, have that quality Dylan and Daddy time. So long story short, we made it there. Nice atmosphere. He enjoyed it. That's the main thing. He enjoyed it. We sat by a window to where you could see the streets and everything. And before I forget, right before we went in, parking, I couldn't find any parking. Didn't know where to park at. So they had a valet. I'm like, no, I want no valet parking. So I looked and I saw the bank. It was Wells Fargo Bank. So I went on and I parked right there. Of course, this is now maybe 8:30 at night. Banks aren't open. So I figured it's okay for me to park there at Wells Fargo. So I parked there, and then we walked, bypassed the valet parking, and then we went in, sat down, and like I said, nice view. Then I found out how the structure goes. And then, you know, I asked the guy, you know, like, how much things would be and all this stuff. He told me, I'm like, wow. Well, we here now. Let's enjoy it, you know. So with that, Derek, you wanted to try that? I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give you some advice about that. So we tried the place. Great food. He enjoyed himself. And, you know, those that know me, I have a different diet than most people will eat. I don't eat beef. I don't eat pork. I don't drink soda. Now, I don't try to push that upon anyone. That's just my preference. I haven't had pork or soda since maybe January. I think the last time I had a soda was January of 1992. And the only reason why I had them because I was sick and they made me take Sprite or something. But other than that, I'd say 91 actually. So that was it, you know. But like I said, I don't try to, you know, pressure anyone. You know, if somebody want me to fix them some bacon or something like that, I'll do it. About them soda, I'll do it. But that's just me. That's just me. So, long story short, enjoyed the food, paid for it, and we were walking. And as we were walking, leaving Texas de Brazil, we were walking, headed to the car. And so we bypassed the little alley for us to go to the car. And I'm walking, and I remember where I parked at. And I'm looking, and I see other vehicles but mine. I'm like, now wait a minute. Don't tell me my car was towed. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so now my son with me, I said, let me see if they towed my car. So I went on and there was a sign, and I called the number of this tow place, and I called and I gave them excuse me, I gave them information on my car. And they said, yes, we have it. I'm like, man, ain't that a mother for you? So I was like, crap. And so now my son, now look, my son with me, this is daddy. It had to be me to not only take control, but to be in control. So I called, I said, okay, so eventually I called my brother, Jerry. And I told him, and he would just leaving work in Mesquite. So I asked him to go ahead and pick up me and Dylan. And I told him, he was like, what? He was like, what? I said, yeah. And so what I did was, since we were in the parking lot by Wells Fargo Bank. I told Dylan, hey, let's come on over here. Let's get away from the other vehicles, because like I said, it was at nighttime. Didn't want to look suspicious. So eventually we just kind of waited in the parking lot of Wells Fargo. Then eventually I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's go in. We'll go ahead and sit down, in the place where we just left from. And so there was, eventually we got picked up, and I got the car, and man, it cost, I think it was like $172. $172. I was like, crap. So I had already paid over $100 at Texas Day Brazil, and now the tow service, $100 and some odd dollars. I'm like, crap. Excuse me. But that's the end. But during the middle of me and them waiting for us to be picked up, there was a lot of teachable moments that God was showing, and I was relaying the message to Dylan. The first thing was, I was trying to save some money by, finding a place to park at myself instead of valet parking. Well, during the course of us waiting inside Texas Day Brazil, the lady that helped us at first, she saw us go in, and, she asked how the experience was and everything. And I had told her that we had a great time, we enjoyed it. And I said, if you don't mind, we needed to come back in. And I told her that they towed our car. And she was like, what? I said, yes, they towed our car. And I told her where we parked at. She said, you could have used the valet parking. The valet parking was free. I said, what? I said, what? And here Dylan was sitting beside me, and he had his hand, and he just pat my shoulder like, Daddy, it's going to be all right. And I said, man, now I know. So if I had to title, because this is going to be, a video, like 3 videos into one, but I'm going to condense it. If I had to title, I told Dylan, I'm going to make a video about this. The first thing, if I had to entitle that first initial response about having a valet parking, free valet parking that I did not utilize, and end up having to get my car towed because I was trying to save some money and park at a place, that I wasn't familiar with, and I was not familiar with the protocol. But because of me trying to save some money, I end up spending more money. So the name I had to entitle that part of the experience was When Saving Money Costs You More. I felt it in my gold tooth. Lord have mercy. That was the first thing. The second thing was, and I think this is the most important thing that I want to emphasize, the experience of me having my son in the midst of a situation or a crisis. Even though it happened. It happened because of my negligence, knowingly or unknowingly. One of the things that my son was able to see was how I handled conflict or situations. There was a great experience for my son or a child to see their parent, especially a father. How do you handle conflict? How do you handle a crisis or a situation? I told him, I said, you know what? We're going to laugh this off, because getting upset ain't going to help. Getting upset ain't going to prevent my car from being towed. Guess what? It was already towed. And so I said, you know what? We're going to be cool. Don't worry. You know what? Don't worry about, our ride is coming. But I said also, yes, it costs some money. It costs a lot of money. But thank God we have the money to get it, even if it was a mistake. Thank God for it. Not allowing anything or anybody or any situation to interrupt your peace. I said, no matter what, yeah, I hate I hate that the car was towed. I hate to have to spend this unexpected money. But thank God we have it. And so for my son to see and even be able to experience and be taught in real time pertaining to handling a situation, okay, because to be honest with you, that was something that most people, they would, I can't believe cussing and fussing and throwing stuff and catching the attitude with the person that towed my car because I violated a policy, knowingly or unknowingly. You know what? That wasn't going to help. But also, like I said, showing my son an example. I had to show him an example. And to be honest with you, I'll say that those that know my parents, I know I got that from my dad. I got that from my dad. So that was a teachable moment. That was the second one. But the third one was about accountability and responsibility. Sometimes we have to own to our mistakes. Sometimes we have to own to our bad choices. Me choosing to park there cost me to have my car towed, and even to put my son in danger. It could have been physical danger. It could have been mental danger. And so what I did when I eventually got my car, I went on and when I was taking him home, I said, Dylan, I just want to tell you, Dad is sorry. Sorry if I put you in, if I caused you any discomfort, if I caused any, uneasiness. I apologize. He said, no problem. It's not your fault. I said, well, you know what? Says it's going to be all right. I said, but you know what? We're going to laugh about this. And that's what we're going to do. And so if nothing else, those three things, and it was at least, those are the main three things that I could really say out of the experience that I had last night, which coming into Derek, what my desire was after I had got done with Dylan, I wanted to stop by because Ashley passed by on the freeway anyway. I wanted to see you. And so I was like, man, so by the time I dropped him home, it was midnight. And then coming back to Dallas, it was 1 o'clock. And so I said, and I was like, I didn't get a chance, and I don't, maybe I don't like really sharing, what I do to the public. My thing is, as believers, I don't have to put on the banister and say, hey, I'm finna do this, I did that. Be honest with you, my mom would always say, an empty wagon make the loudest noise. So as believers, if we see people, whatever we do, we don't have to do it. We don't have to publicize what we do. There may be people I may be acquainted with on Facebook. I may not know them personally, but if I see that, somebody in the hospital or whatever like that, I don't care if I don't personally know them. But if they're my Facebook friend and I see they're in the hospital and I find out which hospital that they're at and I'm close by, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there, introduce myself and, let them know, hey, look, we Facebook friends, let you know, praying for you. We here for you. That's what real believers do. I don't have to get my phone and take a selfie with the person that I'm seeing. No, for what? My main thing is, hey, look, I want you to know. I want you to know that we're here for you. I want you to know that we're praying for you. That's what true believers are supposed to do. No, like I said, don't have to broadcast anything, but the most important thing, I always tell people this, always checking your motives. Always checking your motives. So, of course, there may be a situation that, some people may take pictures with other people, whatever like that, and to each his own, that doesn't mean that, they're doing wrong or whatever like that. It just pertains to the motives, because there may be somebody in a hospital that I may go visit. They may want to take a picture with me or whatever, that's cool, but I always tell people to check your motives. Now, if you go in there to, be seen or whatever like that, anything other than just praying for a person or whatever like that, then hey, something wrong with you. But with that being said, I really, really, really thank God for the experience of what happened last night, because I thank God that, like I said, with so many teachable moments, from Dad, for me to be able to give to my son. So with that being said, that's how last night's Dylan and Daddy time went. So with that story, I hope y'all found it entertaining. I hope y'all found it even spiritually edifying. I hope that there was something that you all can get out of this story. I wish it was a fictional story, but it was real life last night. And so with that being said, thank God that God even taught me about, just being, grateful, appreciative, accountability, but also even to have everything orchestrated where I was able to not only have the money, but also for me to be able to have my brother getting ready to get off work. I mean, he was just clocking out, to have the accessibility of coming to get me and Dylan. So with that being said, like I said, I hope that there was something that was said that was encouraging, thought-provoking, and also being responsible. Hi, Miss Lewis. Being responsible, taking ownership. One of the things I found that, and I got this tag from a good friend of mine, former co-worker, Glenn King. He said, Lord, what I make crooked, you make straight. And I was like, yeah. You think about how many times that we've made mistakes, and all it takes for us is to repent. Now, there are some things that we may deal with pertaining to the consequences of our choice, of our actions, but God is faithful enough to even help us, even in the midst of a bad decision or a wrong decision. So, like I said, look at those things as teachable moments and allow God to be able to be glorified even through what we went through. So I thank God for y'all watching and listening, and I want y'all to have a great, great, blessed day. Remember, stay focused. That's the most important thing I want people to know. Stay focused on the assignment that God has for you. Don't deter from it. Don't let anything or anybody, but most importantly, don't let your emotions to override sound judgment. So I hope and pray that, like I said, everything go well for you. And I just felt the need to say that, please, please, please don't be driven by your emotions. Be driven by the Spirit of God. listen, obey, and execute what God gave you. So take care of yourself. Appreciate y'all. And till we continue, be blessed.